It's a question thousands of us have to answer every day. Where am I supposed to ride my bike if there isn't a bike lane? Out here in the middle of the lane? Over on the far right? Off the road on the shoulder? Or up here on the sidewalk? The answer is literally a matter of life or death. Cars are stacked up behind Cherokee Shill. She's used to it. She rides in the middle of the lane and she reads the regulations.
KRS 189.3406A, it says you shall occupy as much of your lane as possible.
Biking 18 miles each way to work near Lexington, she's been stopped a lot. Officer number 1.
He said, you're not doing anything wrong.
Officer number 2.
He pulled out his book. He's like, look, I'm going to show you what the law says. So we started to read the statute together. And I said, and we're going through it. And he stopped halfway through it, and I said, no, it continues. And so we read it all the way through to the end, and he kind of stopped, and he looked at it, and he looks at the road.
Other officers took a stand, citing her 7 times for careless driving.
They had it in their mind that I was doing something wrong, and they were going to cite me.
Shill went to trial on all 7 at once and even had a leading bike advocate for her lawyer. Still, the judge ruled she should have ridden on the road shoulder instead of on the roadway. She lost. Chips Cronin lost too. Lost his life.
Threw him into this girder right here.
Knocked by this van into girder 55 on the 2nd Street Bridge, pedaling home on the right side of the right lane.
Had he been claiming his lane, or had he been on the sidewalk, that he would be alive, but he followed the rules of the road. So he was in the right. Unfortunately, he was dead right.
Kentucky law says a bicyclist is no different from a motorist. Has to obey the same traffic rules. Can't use the sidewalk because they can surprise drivers. Can't ride more than 2 abreast. As a slower moving vehicle, has to drive as closely as practical to the right-hand boundary. And when there's more than 1 lane in each direction, can get out and claim the lane. Problem is,
whoa, that guy almost got me.
There's a big difference between the regulations and reality. There's a lot of confusion and road rage out here on the streets, but this time, I have a camera. Kentucky law says passing cars have to be at least 3 feet away. When I ride as far to the right as I can, vehicles like this miss me by inches. When I get out there and claim my lane, it gets worse. When people pulling trailers go by, they forget about the trailers when they pass and cut me off. On River Road, a key artery under public debate right now, cars and trucks often refuse to move over. When I ask other cyclists what they do, their answers vary.
Claim my lane, because I hate to do that to other people, but you can't let somebody cut you that close. People are crazy. They don't like bicycles, and I definitely try to stay as far right as I can.
This is the reason why the law says to ride as closely as practical to the right. The right side of the road is often an unrideable, potholed mess, or you get slapped by bushes and trees. And road shoulders, where Cherokee Shill was told to ride, often have rumble strips and busted glass. Extra lanes don't help. As far over to the right as I can get, with another lane to my left. Side swipes continue. Again, on the far right of the far right lane.
Whoa!
Some refuse to move over. This white box truck literally scrapes me.
Whoa!
So it's like we have this complete lack of knowledge of what is actually safe on a public right-of-way.
And while Cherokee Shill was cited 7 times for careless driving between Nicholasville and Lexington, guess how many times Louisville police have ticketed cyclists in the past 7 years? You're looking at it. Once, blowing a stop sign in 2011. John Bull, Wave 3 News.